Today I'm with Gabriele Domenichini, who is an Italian investor and also a Bitcoin personality since the first years. So let's start with the questions. The first one, very predictable. What are your opinions on the current state of cryptocurrencies and VC?
This is an interesting question. What I see right now is a general tendency to focus on ICOs, because ICOs are an innovative mean of financing new ideas. But I see many problems regarding the alignment of incentives between investors and companies, and also lack of regulation and an extreme, let's say, it's very easy to get don't have the return on investment one expect, unless you sell very fast what you have acquired, but it's not my style, sincerely. So I see an underlying movement of investment in deep research, long time research, which is the one I prefer, sincerely, because it relies on good ideas that takes time to develop.
So can we say that you are a cypherpunk investor?
I've always been fascinated by cypherpunk's idea. I don't code myself, so I cannot call strictly a cypherpunk. But I like a lot the ideas, and I was one of the first adopter of PGP and Philip Zimmermann works, and also Alfine work, and so I use PGP, and
yes,
and I have always been fascinated by the power of cryptography, even if I'm not a mathematician. So it's very difficult for me to understand the underlying technology. But I try to keep up and to catch up sometimes because they're going very fast.
Yeah.
With the last development, especially. I have also had the possibility to know personally many of the people in the cypherpunks, as we say, environment, and I tend to share their ideas. So I'm, in a way, I'm an ideologically motivated investor. Somehow.
Your background is different, but you are very technically literate. How and when do you start with Bitcoin?
I was watching a video in 2011, a video of Anonymous, the Anonymous network of hackers. It was in 2011, yes. And at the end of the video, there was a Bitcoin address. So I was taken by curiosity by that, because I knew what digital signing was, and I knew about David Chaum's experiment of DigiCash, and so I went on Wikipedia, as everybody. And I was immediately fascinated by the peer-to-peer nature, open source nature of Bitcoin, and it was extremely interesting for me. So I started to install the software, and I started to try to mine, but it was too late. So I bought 40 Bitcoins for $40 through CoinPal, that now it doesn't exist anymore, but it was fun. It has been a long ride, and so I got involved, and it was something like really absorbing, because from then on I tried to study everything I could.
Can you tell us in which technology you decided to invest on?
Yes, I think new technologies are like a tree because sooner or later, probably sooner, they began to spread around and to follow many roads. And they are fascinating also for that, but the main thing is not to take a dead end. Or you can take a dead end because it's normal to make error and to fail, and everything teaches you something. But I'm trying to stay mainly on the mainstream of what the smart people I trust tend to follow. So, and also there are many questions unresolved in the Bitcoin space from the beginning. I mean, how do I acquire Bitcoins? How do I custody Bitcoin? How do I spend Bitcoin? Is it legal? These are very big questions that are partially answered. So I tend to try to follow the technological paths that are near the demands of the public. So I'm particularly fascinated by sidechain technologies because they give a framework to experiment in a difficult world like those of cryptocurrencies by a Lightning Network, of course, because they answer to a very big demand from the public. That is it possible to transact very fast in Bitcoins and very cheaply, hopefully? And also hardware wallets, because one of the main problem of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general is how do I custody Bitcoin and how can I spend them in a safe way. Yeah. Very simple thing in reality, but they are often not so much investigated. So these are the main technology I'm involved right now. Yes.
What are the most interesting tech you are passionate about?
The most interesting tech, in my opinion, right now are...
and for the future too.
Yes. I think now that Bitcoin has shown to be a consolidated technology, apart of fungibility, of course, but it's consolidated and solid technology. I think that the technology should bring more scalability, of course, with Lightning Network. So our company has invested in 2 or 3 companies directly involved in Lightning Network. And also sidechain technology for me is very important, and we have invested in another very brilliant company in this field. And also hardware wallet, because hardware wallets are absolutely mandatory if you want to own Bitcoin in a safe way, in my opinion. So we are trying to follow on one side what is technologically interesting, and on the other side we are trying to answer to the demands of the general public, future demands probably, but we are working hard on them. Yeah.
Last question. You are in the space since a long time, and you can share a lot of anecdotes too, for example, San Jose conference. But that means you did a lot of experiments and mistakes too. They told me that once during a conference, they presented you as an expert in losing bitcoins. Have you already lost something with the Lightning or mainnet? And more importantly, since you know now you have this huge wisdom, which advice do you have for noobs entering now in Bitcoin?
Oh, oh, yes. So there are three questions.
Yeah, it's
and
complicated.
the easiest one is how do I have learned, how have I learned that hardware wallets are so important? Probably because by moving my wallet around from a computer to another, I lost a bit of Bitcoin. I remember I put 5 Bitcoin on my phone in 2011 when I acquired them, and then I totally formatted my phone after some months, totally forgetting I had some Bitcoin on it. So that
it hurts now.
It hurts. It hurts a lot, but yeah, I'm not the only one, and
Yes, of course.
that's the price of experience, of course.
Yes, you have been empty goxed too.
Yeah, no, I was.
You are not in the list.
No, because in San Jose I met a smart guy who told me, Mt. Gox is not going so well, in my opinion, because they had their funds frozen by in the Multium Sigillium branch company in the United States. And so they were so slow in giving you back your money that I decided to withdraw all the money from them. And that was one of the most clever move I made in the Bitcoin space. And yeah, but everybody has stories about the Bitcoin.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's very funny.
What are your advices?
Yes.
That's very important.
Yeah, that's this advice is for noobs or for people that wants to enter in the space. Mainly the possession of your private keys and in particular of your mnemonic phrase is the most important thing in this space. So you have to keep it very, very safe. Safe from your errors. I mean, try not to lose it, and try not to show it to others. This is the most important thing. From BIP 39 going forward, it's just a question of keeping a paper with the mnemonic written on it. So I would stick to BIP 39 and to something on paper. Kept a secret or on CryptoSteel.
Yeah, for example,
any kind of support is okay, but just try to make up your mind on the fact that the private keys are everything, because there is no I forget my password or something like that in this space. And so there is a great power to the individual in the Bitcoin space, but with great power comes great responsibility.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's so true, because we are sometimes our worst enemies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I've experienced. Yeah, they have also stolen some Bitcoins from me on Bitstamp, but mostly I lost them. So
lessons learned.
Yeah, just be careful and follow the good advice from more skilled people than me. And there are a lot of tutorials on how to do properly your wallet backup and so on. Just stick to it, yes. It's good advice, and don't make so many experiments. You asked me if I've lost some money on Lightning Network.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
And no problem. I probably lost some euro, but
On mainnet?
Yeah, on mainnet, but I don't know how many, and I don't know how, because I simply started with 100 euro, and now I have 40 euro. But I also bought some stickers, so,
Okay.
so probably I've spent
totally worth
most
it.
of them, yeah, and it was exciting, of course.
Oh, thank you very much.
Don't go on mainnet in Lightning Network if you don't know exactly what you're doing, or if
This
you are
important.
not like me, that I would like to lose some money for the glory.
All right, thank you very much for the interview, and thank you for everything you are doing for Bitcoin. This is very important, and I want to tell you.
I have collaborated with Blockchain Lab and BHB Network in organizing Scaling Bitcoin in Milan with this beautiful...
Actually, this is yours.
Yes, it is.
Oops.
And so I'm very proud, and I've been also the president of Assobit, that is the Italian association in blockchain technology. It's good to remember because it's a good association. Thank you so much, Mir.
Thank you again. Bye.
Bye.